Welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Yes, indeed. I love that intro. I love that song. Thank you, my friend Nick Johnson. It's an original. Welcome, everybody, for a great show. And here's what I want to say about this. You know, sometimes what happens in life, you wake up and you meet people, and the people you meet are the people you need to meet to help you where you are in your life and how to take that next step. Today, Brenda Lee Mattausch, joining me here today, is a visionary. She is the founder of Attuned Guidance, but much more. There is not enough time in this short show to tell you the impact that she has already had on me personally. But when you take a look at what could I use help with? Oh, wait, spiritual wisdom, oracle, oh, mindset coaching, quantum navigation. If you look at all those things, you understand the talent, the gift, and the reason that Brenda Lee is in the world helping many, 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 many people. These are transformative teachings. Today's show gives you I like to call a little taste of what's to come. Today, we're going to talk about the call within, unlocking your inner attuned guidance. The call within, that call within, if you don't know or sense or have the chutzpah to do something about it, it stays within. Brenda Lee, it's great to have you here. Great topic, great conversation. It's great to see you again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pat. I'm so happy to be here and share space with you again.
So I want to talk for a minute. This is a introduction because we're getting ready to launch your full show. And this is a way for the audience to really meet you and get ready for what's to come. And part of this is always to explore the moments, how we get here, and what exactly, as part of Attuned Guidance, what it is, what you recognize in yourself to get you here in this moment today.
Yeah, so Attuned Guidance for me is something that only I can tap into. It's now it's developed into a beautiful inner knowing that I fully trust. But it began with guiding me to look at my outer world and kind of see, did I create all of this? And when I started so the inner guidance was with me since I was a young girl, but as we go through our teens and our 30s and our 40s and we're in work mode, we ignore most of our intuition. That chill you get when you're around people when you get a weird feeling. I tend to only listen to it every once in a while. And now I've developed a habit with myself to listen to it as much as possible over anything else on the exterior. And it's a quiet whisper, Dr. Pat. It's so sweet, and nobody else can tune into it. I can't even really give you words for it, but we can explore through this talk on how other people can try to tap into it.
Yeah. And what I love about this is we're coming out of the gate here, having a conversation about, attuned guidance and how does one recognize it in oneself? How did you do it? But there's also something really important in this introduction that I'm thrilled to be doing, introducing you to my audience, this audience, because we are in a place now. This is my 2 cents, if you really want to know. We are in a place right now where if you do not tap into this, let me just ask you, how in the world are we going to keep up? with the pace by which the world is changing? Maybe you can help me out with that.
Well, I don't want any part of keeping up with the pace in the exterior world. And so the inner wisdom, the attuned guidance, the intuition, we can call it, I want people to know that attuned guidance is a platform and how I tap in, but attuned guidance is within everybody. And, the automatic programmed person, no fault in being programmed, you're raised that way, is tapped into everything outer. What's happening out there? What is everybody doing out there? How do I need to prove myself out there? Competing against everything out there and receiving validation from out there. And you really have to start questioning all of that. You have to understand, why do I care about what they say or what they're doing? And is this what I really want to do? And that only comes with listening to your heart, that higher mind. You must listen. And the only way to do that is to hold space and put as much energy in creating that space that you would in your outer field all day long.
Yeah. And, look, part of this is when we look at this and the work that you've done and what you're doing and bringing to the forefront, I want to ask you this question. Why do you believe it's essential for people to connect with that inner wisdom? What is it that you've seen in the clients you see, the people you speak with? Obviously, you're seeing something happening out there. At least I am. Not sure what it is, but there is something going on. So
Yeah,
give us
absolutely.
yeah. From where you
Yeah.
sit, what are you seeing?
From where I sit, the first thing I want to say, it's your birthright. It's your birthright to hear your inner voice. And the outside is chaotic and noisy. The inner whisper is soft and sweet. The outer voice, the mind, the narrative that's playing out that you've created in your reality is in fear. When you're listening to your heart and your intuition, there is no fear. There is no doubt, right? So when I have a sensation or a thought, I can tell, is this a thought coming in of an old narrative that's trying to keep me in fear? Or is this my higher self trying to lead me over here that's unknown, by the way? And it's okay to be unknown. And a lot of people want a lot of proof before they get there. And intuition doesn't work on proof, right? It's tapping in and believing and knowing and getting to know your flavor and how the energy moves. And it's super important for people as their birthright to go within.
I want to ask you this question because I think I'm a little bit focused on today a couple of events that happen in my close circle of friends, but also in the world. And, it has to do with signs. And, it's interesting about signs. We look at something and you may see a squirrel and that may mean something to you. I may see as that same squirrel and have a different meaning for me. But what are some of the signs and the feelings that help you personally look at things and say, I need to discern what's guidance, what's coming from in, or what's popping in from some newsreel or something I've been watching?
Yeah, so the number one sign is fear in the room. Right? And the other big sign, which I'm currently expanding my own conscious awareness of myself, and there's depths to it, is where is there resistance,
Mhm.
right? And the minute somebody feels resistant, you want to go against it, right? But that is where the golden nuggets are in that resistant. But it's always uncomfortable because you actually have to get outside your comfort zone to have any growth. And none of us want to, embrace that when it's first happening, when we're going through transformations, right? And holding space to tap in to your intuition, it's kind of I'm getting this analogy of the ocean, right? The ocean is always there, even when you're not looking at it, it's there and it's in motion and it's moving. And so, if you just look at levels of your conscious awareness of yourself and tapping into your intuition, there's some people that will go to the ocean, but they'll only sit on the beach and they'll never get in the water, right?
Yeah.
And so those people are somewhat curious of the wave of the ocean. And so we're talking intuition here, but we're using the ocean as the analogy. And then you have some people that want to go snorkel on the surface, right? And then you have those ones that are very brave and they'll hold their breath and they'll free dive. And when there's people like me who I need the snorkel gear to because I want to go all the way so deep and understand who I am. And so there's many different levels and cycles in your life that you can start to attune to your inner guidance. You don't want to go from sitting on the ocean to putting on the snorkel gear, right?
Yeah.
You want to play with it and believe in it and trust yourself.
Yeah. I love this conversation because we're going to have so many conversations as we move forward. And what we're talking about is a body of work that you do. So I want to take a minute because as we have these conversations, people are going to, how do I work with her? How do I find out more? How do I learn to put on the snorkel? What is the best way for people to find out more about you, Brenda Lee?
Yeah, so my website is attunedguidance.com. And I have one-on-one sessions, and I have Gene Key sessions, and I have online courses that are self-discovery, and you can take at your own pace.
Yeah. Look, I can't wait for all the things we're going to talk about. And I know this is a short 30-minute show, but I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Part of all of this is making adjustments. And I want to tell you for me, here's what I had to adjust to. I've been called lucky all my life. Lucky, that's another word for using your insight. That's what they say, you're lucky. And, part of that is being told, don't use that, don't do that, don't trust that. But yet, as I became a student and I looked at different things, what I found in almost everything I read, I don't care what spiritual book you pick up, what story, most of the people got there by that inner guidance. I don't care if you're looking at Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen and Chicken Soup for the Soul, it doesn't matter. And yet here we are. So can you talk to the misconceptions that we have about relying on that internal guidance? It's almost like we dismiss it as if we need to have a degree before we can actually use it.
Yeah, and people want proof, right? And so I invite people to believe that you have an inner knowing and guidance and intuition and start working with it. Don't wait for the proof before, allow the unfolding, right?
Mhm.
And what happens is once you ask the question, I want to tune into this, what you're seeking is also seeking you. And so what's within you is going to start appearing in your outer reality, and it's going to offer you invitations on how to do it through a book, through a podcast, through a course. Whatever, there's unlimited potential in the universe, in the quantum to guide you. And so if you're not willing to tune into yourself and hear your heartbeat and know your voice and know the emotions coming out of your body and trust that, then you're never going to see the signs and synchronicities that are all around you that are showing up in your favor.
Yeah, I had a coach that used to drill me all the time, walk the talk, walk the talk. That's what they used to do, walk the talk. And part of that conversation is asking you this question. In this conversation, people want to know from your perspective, how has following your attuned guidance impacted you? How did it help you take road X instead of road Y? Or in just understanding more about who you are?
Yeah, so if 1,000 people go left, I go right. I've been that way my whole life. And I didn't understand why I did it, but I trusted that I was supposed to because I had this inner knowing. I couldn't put language to it to explain it to the people in my life. And there were certain times in my life where I felt like I owed an explanation. I'm at a point now where I don't owe an explanation to anybody on any decisions that I make in my life. And I generally make a lot of big life decisions and tell everybody in my life after the decision has already been made. Because although they could bring value in their opinion, it wouldn't sway my decision either way. Once I have a knowing, I know that it's my higher self, my higher heart, mind, my soul, whatever you want to call it. Words don't matter. I know that I'm being guided towards a new doorway, a new
Mm.
trajectory that's unknown that I haven't experienced yet. And so, why wouldn't I want to go there and experience it? I don't want to stay stagnant over here. There's cycles in your life that you go through situations, and then your soul says, okay, I learned enough. I want to go over here. And I just follow that. And it's always magical at the
Yeah.
end. It's never easy, but it's always magical at the end.
What I'm really struck by is, I've been reflecting here recently, but also because of my 37 years of sobriety, we have a process we go through where we have to, every rock, anything that crawls out from under a rock, you got to look at. But
Yeah.
what shows up in that is the idea of making decisions that didn't follow that inner guidance, right? The things that you don't have regrets over, but you get knowledge and wisdom when you
Yeah.
say, whoa, okay. But in this conversation and moving forward in the shows we're going to do, we're going to just lift that rock up and
Yeah.
we're going to have whatever comes out of that so we can help people, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is no right or wrong or good and bad. There just is new conscious awareness of who I am in my experience. What do I want to experience? How do I want it? And how much do I trust myself to allow this intuition to guide me? Did it really ever let me down, or was it just teaching me hands-on training? And so I like hands-on training. I need to know for myself. I don't really, um, if somebody tells me don't do this or don't do that, I don't really listen to that. I need to know for myself. And I think if a lot of people would get a little more curious about learning for themselves without outside interference and opinions, they would tap into themselves quite quickly. But you got to create space for it.
Yeah.
You got to want it, and you got to start asking yourself bigger questions than you ever have before.
One of the things I noticed, I played a lot of sports, I do a lot of things that require intuition, but I've really been struck by it lately, especially since you and I have spoken over these weeks. And now when I watch things, I just notice how the flow is happening for
Yeah.
people and when it doesn't. And I'm noticing that in myself. You helped me out with a few things, and I caught myself, and I get to practice it again tonight, but
Oh,
I
good.
caught myself not being able to hold the flow. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about that. Really good in the first hour of what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Fear, the mind jumps in.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the tools you're going to be sharing with people that can help with this, right?
Yeah, it's very easy because the outer world is so noisy and chaotic, at least for me, right? And so when somebody else is coming into your field and you're not grounded in knowing what you want, what you desire, and how you show up, then they're going to be a mirror to you. And if they're coming in hot and heavy and you're not grounded in your own knowing, they're going to raise things inside of you, their emotions, and the conflict is always within.
Yeah.
And so, if we can look at people characters in our play of this beautiful life that we're in, and we can start to observe them, and then when we have emotions come up, instead of matching their energy and wanting to be a right fighter, if we can sit with that emotion and take a pause and walk away if we need to, and allow ourselves the grace to walk away and take a minute, especially when you're playing sports like you, and figure out, why is that emotion? How can what that person said to me affect me so big when I was fine for an hour? That's where the nugget
Yeah.
is, right? And they're actually on a subconscious level, on a soul level, doing you a favor for to help you clear it. They might not be ready to clear their own conflicts, but
Yeah,
they're
boy.
giving you an opportunity to clear yours. And when you see that you've cleared it and they haven't, there's a beautiful contrast. The duality of the experiences, I've cleared it, they're not ready. I'm going to allow them the grace, but I have boundaries now on how I'm going to show up. And it's just magic when you're not doing it from fear and anger and reaction, right?
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
matching their energy. We're just checking and tuning our own frequency. Why did I let that person make me so upset? That has to be inside of me. I've got to find that and I've got to hold space for it and I got to feel that emotion and release it, right? With love.
We couldn't plan this. Okay, so this is not something that you and I planned. I watched last night something I had not seen much of in women's basketball between the Indiana Fever and Phoenix. And it was almost an outright brawl.
Oh,
I had what you just described, right? What you just described that happens when we don't have this kind of insight. We saw it in the public eye, and it was ugly. I'm telling you, I just must have been, just because I've been talking to you so much, I think. And I
oh yeah.
thought about you and I said, if these women would have just had an inkling of what you just shared and learned how to walk away, learn how to take things at the level that you're talking about. And it became so disruptive, really almost embarrassing, that the play up now for it in the media, because the media gets a hold of something like this, Brenda Lee, you know what they do. They're like, now they're going to play again on Wednesday. You better look out.
So it's
No,
not a basketball. I don't watch basketball. So now it's not a basketball game, it's a boxing
no,
match,
exactly.
right?
And it's
So
for the
funny.
very reason you just went through. It is exactly those reasons, the
Yeah, so we
lack
have to
of
catch
skill.
ourselves. Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
catch ourselves when we're reacting. And if you catch yourself reacting enough, you'll start seeing that it's you doing that. And once you do that, you have to have some pattern tools to correct that pattern. And it's that's when the resistance comes up, and you got to take full accountability for yourself. And
Yeah.
I do that. I have the I went from the snorkeling gear to I go deep in it. I want to understand, why do I feel this? What is it teaching me about me? And I thank the person. I might not let them in my life and in my private circle, but I thank them because the mirror of them showed up in divine time for me to clear it in me. We both had an opportunity. I'm going to grab it as much as I can. And it
Yeah.
literally changed my life. And so I just want people to know that we can change our patterns, but we got to get uncomfortable. We got to be okay. I do the work. I'm in it right now with going even deeper within my intuition than I ever have, and it's a process, and we have to give ourselves grace and hold space and
Yeah.
allow time.
And I got to give you credit because I think I told you this. It's taken me a while, but I switched the clubs, the sports club that I'm affiliated with. I switched, and it's a whole different environment, and I can't even explain it. But it does take an effort if you're attached to something to
Yeah.
make that change. I want to ask you a couple of questions. You provide digital resources and one-on-one sessions. Give us a breakdown of the different ways you work with people or what you provide for people.
Well, my one-on-one sessions are basically mindset coaching, getting people out of the mind and into the heart, teaching you how to listen to that beautiful voice within you, right? And so we have to change the narrative. We have to see what we're doing to ourselves. We have to catch ourselves in the act. And and I just want to go back to you changing the club.
Yeah.
That that's a moment where your soul said, I learned enough. But I still want to play the game and I can go over here. And even though it was uncomfortable, it's not being attached to what you're experiencing and the outcome, to be in the flow. And that's what my courses teach. They teach you to get out of that program that you're in, the pattern where you're stuck, right?
Yeah.
And to get in the flow of creating a new pattern and how to surround and show up for yourself in doing that and having some tools.
Yeah.
And it's a process that you have to trust. It doesn't happen overnight. But when you're willing, it can be less static. If you're fighting it, it can be a little more difficult and take a little longer, right?
Yeah.
And
And you
so,
can
yeah.
apply this to family. You can apply this to
Oh my
business. You
gosh.
could, oh, yeah, right. You can apply this to every aspect of life. And I want to ask you this last question. First of all, thank you for today. Thank you for joining me. We're going to do many more of these.
Yeah,
So I
thank you
just
for
want people
having
to
me.
know.
I always
Yeah,
love talking to you. It's so
it's
fun.
so cool. And by the way, you should really work with Caitlin Clark. I'm telling you, she needs to change her club. Okay, don't email me on that, people. Um, how do people find out more about you? And what's your closing message? What would you love to leave us with today?
Yeah, I mean, all of my work is on attunedguidance.com, and you can go on there and receive whatever you need to receive, right? To just read through the website and read through whatever pages. And the courses are lifetime, they're at your own pace. You can do it in 5 weeks or you can do it in 3 months or
Mm,
2 years, whatever you want to do. Nobody's grading you but yourself when you're in my courses. I'm just offering tools to bring into your current life, right? And they're very short courses. They're about 20 minutes per lesson, and they're interactive. They have ideal situations and scenarios in life to kind of give you a picture and a vision for those that are visual and need a little guidance that way. And yeah, my closing message is that your beautiful soul, your beautiful heart wants you to connect deeper now. And it is our birthright, and we're not taught this. A lot of us, I had the inner knowing, and I would try to talk to people as a kid, and they would tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And so we have enough tools, enough podcasts, enough books, enough things that we can get curious. And when we put out a signal that I want to know more about me, not a signal I want to know more about them and try to change them. As you noticed with your game, you couldn't change that guy.
oh
So you
man,
moved
no.
over here and you're still
Mm,
playing your game, right? And he's
yeah,
battling with somebody else on the floor now, not with you, right?
yeah,
And so when we trust that, the universe will rearrange things in our favor, and the right person, the right book, the right podcast will show up, and you'll feel it. You'll feel
yeah.
it in your body, and you'll go, wait a minute, what did she say? What did he say? What was that? That's the first step. That's a signal.
Well, I'm going to give you a bonus. I had no idea. Now I love playing doubles because I love people. Playing individual sports is very difficult. Every sport I've ever played was pretty much with a group or a team, softball, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is the first sport individually. So when I wasn't in New Jersey, almost every weekend, almost everything I did was doubles. And I was very good at it. I love playing with different partners. Lo and behold, what do you think the new club features every Wednesday? Doubles play. Had no idea, it's not listed anywhere. And I like to ask for different signs of things. Now I don't ask anymore because you said it today. You have to trust.
Yeah, so I tell people the first step for me is to get curious for something new in your life, something different, right? That's the first step. The second step is to work on your belief system and start asking the questions, get curious. And then when you start getting a few signs, that works on your belief system. Once you start to believe, the veil is lifted and you see that you had four options in front of you, not one. They're unlimited, right? And when you close those trajectories, three more will open automatically. And then you get to the knowing. And when you know what's right for you, you don't need to explain it. You don't need to argue it. There's no anger, there's no fear, there's no doubt. I go. And people will either agree with you or not. And either way, it doesn't matter because
Mm,
you must honor thyself. And the only way to honor thyself is to get to know thyself first.
Brenda Lee, thank you so much for today. And for those of you out there, Brenda and I are doing an entire series. So this is an introduction, so much more to come. And if you heard something today, if there's an area of your life like me, it doesn't matter what it is, because Brenda Lee has helped me on many other things, but we just happen to talk about this one today. This is the time where you don't have to wait to get help. And if you're somebody like me who waited 40 years to do that, please don't follow in my footsteps.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. Yeah, no kidding, right? We're going to talk about that too. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. Brenda Lee, thank you. Emily, thank you. And you are the best audience on the planet. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.